Hey everybody, how's it going? I think there's just a couple more jumping on right now. Well, nice to see everybody. If anybody has any questions
I know I'll be out there in a bit. We can turn some on.
Or like any comments, like we're into week 2. There's been so many people being shouted out for adding to their team, so that's awesome. So obviously you're taking what we're kind of putting out there to you guys, and you're using it, and instead of just being a collector of information, you guys are running with the information, and that's what we wanted. So awesome job to everybody who is moving their businesses forward with the info from the group. But if you guys have anything, like I want these calls to be interactive, and I think that you're all in this group for a reason, and you're jumping on this call for a reason. So if you guys have questions, concerns, anything, like now's kind of the time to talk to us. Michelle's on here as well. I'm not sure if Bria or Amy are jumping on, but we're here. If you guys have anything you want to chat about first.
So I have one working coach that I keep telling her, like, I want to help her hit Emerald, and she's literally like, she has a VIP. She has one other customer who's told me like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that she wanted to flip to get the discount. So she's literally like, here's the palm, I'm feeding you Emerald, and will not freaking answer me. And I am 2 people away from hitting Diamond, and I need to hit it by Wednesday.
Is Wednesday the cutoff for Summit?
Yeah. Like, I have to wake up Thursday morning as Diamond to then start qualifying for it. And it's like, it's not negotiable for me to go to my second Summit as an Emerald. Like, it's just not happening. So, like, what do I do?
So it's this other person that has to sign somebody up.
Yeah, and like so she has a VIP, and she has one other customer, and like that's all she's got. But this customer,
I'm not in any hurry. I just want to buy college. Yeah, it was mine. Sorry.
Somebody just mute themselves. If you're jumping.
I'm not sure how to mute myself. I've only done it on my phone. I don't know how to do it on my computer. Is it just my mute button?
Yep.
Okay. I just didn't know if I would be able to hear you.
Oh, no. You should if you hit the mute in the corner. I can.
Oh, I see it down here.
Perfect.
So, yeah. So I try to continuously follow up with her customer because I know who she is, and both of them are kind of dodging me. And then I'm working on getting challengers to put under my mom, but get VIP. So, and I have like 48 hours to pull off this fucking miracle.
Yeah, it's tough when it becomes like almost out of your hands. Like,
yeah,
that's when things get frustrating, right? Like, there's only so much you can control, and things would be a lot easier if we had control of everything. Like, I always think, well, gosh, we'd all be like 15-star diamonds if that was the case, but that's where things become a little bit tricky. There's always the option of like offering out an incentive to your next coach who gets to Emerald. Like, I did that early on too in my business. Like, whoever reaches Emerald this month will get a, $50 gift card to Indigo. Like, putting out those incentives might work.
Yeah. And Shelby, at the end of the day, you are putting everything you can into this. And that is the one thing that as a group, you guys are going to learn. We can only control so much. Like, we do not have control over what other people do. So as you start growing bigger and bigger, you're going to find that happens more and more often. In fact, like Megan said, both of us would probably be 15-star if we could control all of these little moving pieces. It's like a domino game or a puzzle. And if you are doing everything in your power, on Thursday morning, you can still wake up and be really, really proud. you know what, if you go to Summit, like we still have a long time until Summit. You can go to Summit and be a diamond in all of our eyes, and you still have a lot more time.
Yeah.
Don't, like, you can't do anything more. You and I have talked this to death. Like, you can't, there's no secrets. Megan, no, like Amy, nobody has some secret that we're not telling you.
Yeah.
You're doing everything you can, and you just have to be proud of yourself for that. I mean, it'd be one thing if you woke up Thursday and were like, well, I guess I could have done that. Like, you have given it your all.
Like, I'm literally following up with freaking every single person I have ever spit anything to. Like, everybody.
There comes a time where you just literally have to go, okay, I need to let it go. I did what I needed to do. And I mean, we have all missed huge milestones. I know I have missed some, and it hurts. Like, it's painful. It brings you to tears when you've missed them.
Yeah.
And it's beyond your control. Like, that's the worst part, is like, you miss these milestones, and it's not because you didn't work hard enough or you didn't want it bad enough. It's just because you couldn't control everything else that goes on. And it sucks, and it hurts, and it takes you back a bit. But, you know, just like Michelle said, as long as you know that you did everything you could do, you have to be okay with that. Really,
I mean, where I was in December and where I am now is like freaking night and day. So like, I'm beyond proud of how far I've come in like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm giving it my absolute all the next like 2 days. Like, there's just, if I wake up Thursday and I'm not diamond, at least I know that I tried.
Yes, exactly. And you have to just feel really good about that. And when you become diamond, it's going to be amazing. And you're not going to look back and be like, well, damn it, if I had only just done it that time. Like, you won't care. You'll just be so excited that you did it, and it won't matter that you missed your date that you were pushing for, because it's not the first time it's going to happen.
I mean, for me, when we go to Summit, if me as our team, if I go to Summit and I'm a diamond, that'll be like a win in my books. Whether or not everybody knows that I'm a diamond or not, I don't care.
Exactly.
Well, I do care, but
I know. And sometimes we get so caught up in that recognition, and it's like, but for what? Like, why was that so important to me, when at the end of the day, I'm going to get there, and it's going to be amazing, and it'll happen when it's going to happen, it'll happen.
Yeah.
So just know that you've done it, deep breath, and just be super proud.
Hey, Megan.
Hey.
Hey, I kind of have a question about this topic, and I posted something in the group, and Terry kind of commented a little bit. I don't know if this is ridiculous, but can we, let's say, like, I have my husband on one leg, could I sign my sister on the other leg and put 2 coaches under my sister and bring her to Emerald? And therefore, I'm controlling 2 coaches on either side. I'm controlling that Emerald so it doesn't slip.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I recommend having as much control as you can. I mean, you also need to find business builders, because that is only going to take you so far. It's going to get you to where you want to be, but it's not going to keep you there. I mean, discount coaches are only going to be around for so long. So it is so important that, yes, do that to get to where you need to be. But keep in mind that you can't just stop there. You've really got to bring those business builders in. But yeah, I mean, I have control of a few emeralds, like a couple emeralds in my downline, and it helps, right? And that's why we always say, sign up your husband, and anybody else who's close to you, get them involved in this, because you can have some control over that for sure. Yeah. That makes sense.
The only thing I would say about that is, I don't know how big you're thinking of building her. Like, building to Emerald is really cool. But beyond that, you have to think about income, because it's her income or your husband's income, right? So that's the only tricky thing about getting, Megan and I have moms and dads, and and sisters that are just like emerald. And it's okay if you like have a sister or your mom and you actually want to build her a business and build, like, that's something I've often thought of. Oh, maybe someday I will build up my mom and she'll have some money for retirement or something. But that would be who that money would go to. Like if you're building bigger and selling, like, because anyone underneath her is obviously going to be buying Shakeology, or they're not really going to be a coach, right? So there's going to be like cycling going on. So there will be income if you kind of get any bigger than sort of an emerald level. That's the only cautionary thing about like just grabbing all these people and building them.
Oh, I didn't even think long term. This is my thinking. This is why I'm glad we do things like this. I was just thinking getting her to Emerald. I wasn't thinking long term, all of the coaches going underneath her and that cycle bonus.
Yeah, but you hopefully won't have to continue building that person up, right? If you're doing what you need to do, you should be bringing in business builders eventually. And so those emeralds that you create, they're just kind of like temporary to hold you where you need to be, but you can't make them last. So maybe your mom, like my mom, for instance, is an emerald on Will's, like my husband's leg. And she has like literally 2 coaches underneath her. Like it's not stable at all, but it just kind of does what it needs to do over there. And I keep an eye on things, but I'm also constantly bringing in more people so that I don't have to depend on that. And I don't have to keep building that up. I don't want to have to keep putting coaches underneath my mom. Right? Like, no, like that's great. She's making a little team cycle volume every here and there, but I want them coming through me. So it's not a long-term thing. It is a short-term solution to get you to diamond. Like that's usually why we do these things, is to just get you to diamond as quickly as you can. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Okay. So what I wanted to talk tonight about is jabs, because I think, now we're sort of a week into the group and maybe you guys are a little bit more familiar with what we mean when we say jabs. But I know in the first couple of days, people were really like, what's a jab? What's a hook? Like really, really utterly confused. So is anybody still really confused with a jab and what that means and why we would do them? And just be totally honest so that way I know when I'm talking to kind of like gear my conversation a little bit differently. But if there's anybody, like raise your hand if you're still like really kind of, I don't get what a jab is, not sure what that lingo is. Okay, so I don't see really anybody waving their hands. So everybody understands jabs and the purposes, and we're like nailing out jabs all the time. Awesome. Good. Okay. So jabs and hooks, they are both absolutely vital to our business. And I think that the coaches who maybe, never really take off, never really see success, I think that maybe they are missing that component. They're missing either the jabs or they're missing the hooks or they're missing both of them, because you really can't be doing one without the other. If you're doing jabs all day long, that's great. That's lovely to read. It's interesting. It's informative. It gets people's attention. But then there's nothing else. You're never going to hook them, essentially. Like you're never going to bring them into your business. You're never going to be able to offer them anything because you're just constantly jabbing. However, on the other hand, if you are constantly just hooking, so constantly doing CTAs, and I mean, I've seen it with coaches. It's just like CTA one after another, and there's none of those jabs. So there's nothing to pull them in. It's just constantly like, join me, join me, join me, join me. And it's salesy. So you can't really do one without the other. You have to incorporate both of them. I strongly suggest you are jabbing every single day. It needs to be constant jabs. And then every, few days or whatever, everybody's going to be different. Maybe you're just kind of once a week or every couple days, every 3 days, you're throwing out that hook. Okay. So think about the jabs like in boxing. And I mean, I'm not one to talk about boxing at all, but here we go. It's like when a boxer, he's jabbing, and then all of a sudden he hooks and he takes the person down. So that is essentially what we are doing on social media. We are jabbing. We are throwing things out there every single day about what we do, about how coaching has changed our life, about the amazing supportive community, about how our life is different now, about how the income has been able to help us pay for groceries, or how you are starting to transform your body, or how you're making new choices because of this opportunity. So it's always bringing it back to what we do, either challenge group or coaching. That's what a jab is. It's giving people a little bit of a snippet into your life and into what we do, and it's showing them just a little bit of your story, and it's showing them that this is actually something that they can do too. But you're not asking them to do it. You're not throwing out that CTA. You're not saying, come join me. You are simply just showing up and sharing how amazing things are in your life now, or how different things are in your life now. Okay. These can be like very simple, talking about your personal development, and maybe how the books you used to read were like Daniel Steele, and were so fluffy and made you feel good, but really were doing nothing to move your life forward. And now you're reading books like The Slight Edge, which are completely changing the direction of your thinking and the direction of your life. So talking about things like that, and how without this opportunity, you never even would have known that books like that exist. That's a jab. That's getting somebody to stop their scrolling, to read that and be like, what is she doing? What are these books? Why did she start reading these books? I read Daniel Steele all the time. Like you want to get their attention, and you want to draw them into your world, and you want them to see that this is something that they can do, that they can benefit from. Okay. Because if they are following you, hopefully you're doing a really good job of sharing your life. And if you're doing that and they're following you, they probably like you, right? And when they like you, they're trusting you. And when they trust you, they probably want to be like you. They probably want to do what you're doing. So you have to show them that this is also something that they could do. And then when you hit them with that hook a few days later, they already sort of understand. Like if you're throwing out a coaching CTA, so a hook, and you've been jabbing all week long about how amazing this is, the community, all of that stuff, and then you throw out that hook, they're like, oh yeah, this is what she's been talking about all week. And they're going to be more likely to respond to that CTA, or to reach out to you, or to answer your invite if you were personally inviting them to something, if you've been jabbing properly. But like I said, without those jabs, if you're just throwing out a coaching CTA, but you haven't been jabbing about coaching, there's nothing for them to be really interested in, right? It's just another call to action that they see all the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am actually, unless anybody has any like really specific questions about the whole jab and hooking thing, I'm going to just share my screen here. Yep, go ahead, Nicole.
Are there any coaches out there that you think are great examples for jab hooks, just so we can look at them and better understand this concept?
I mean, like Michelle, go look at Michelle. I think that like really any of the top coaches, that's what they're doing, right? Like any successful coach is doing this. There's tons of people on our team that are really, really well at doing this. So anybody who like truly is seeing success, it's because they're jabbing constantly, and then they're throwing out that hook. And it's just a constant jab, 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 hook, jab, 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 hook all the time. The majority of my posts have a jab in it. Like, you know, unless it's just a funny quote that I'm throwing up there, or like a mom type post, there is generally always a jab in there. And because I post with intention. So you have to ask yourself, are you posting with intention? Because if you're simply just throwing up posts every single day, they more than likely don't have a jab in them, because you're just like throwing content up to check off that box that you posted. So I always try to think to myself, because hopefully everybody is adding to their network consistently and every single day. So think about it. You are bringing new people into your network every single day. So every single day, brand new people are stumbling across your page, across your posts or your stories, wherever you're running your business. So you have to imagine that, you know, if these people, they started following me this morning, within about 24 to 48 hours, you want them to get a really good snapshot of what you are about. You want them to see several jabs in that time period. You want them to see a hook in that period. You want them to see really like who you are, what kind of a person you are. So even look at your posts from the last like 48 hours and just ask yourself, if somebody brand spanking new came to my page right now, would they understand those things? Would they know who I am? Would they know what I'm doing? Would they know that they can also do it? Would they know what it has done for me already? So ask yourself that question, because you know, I think too often we're not doing these things frequently enough. So you have to imagine that brand new person coming to your page, they need to start seeing those things right away. Otherwise, you're just another person on social media. And if you're not giving any of that value, they're not gonna stick around, right? Okay, any other questions? Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen, and I went through just a few different pages and pulled up some examples of some great jabs. And hopefully this will just really like solidify what I mean, because I know it can kind of be like this topic that's like a little fuzzy, like, well, is that a jab or is it not a jab? So I'm just going to go through and share a few, and then if you guys have any questions after that, we can go from there. But what I do want to say is, when I'm showing you guys these jabs, and when you are looking at anybody else's social media, and you know, because we all do it, we go for inspiration, just really be mindful that those are their words and you need to come up with your own words. And it's so easy to just to copy somebody, right? Take that inspiration and then make it your own. Don't copy, because it's not going to do you any good. People are going to know that it's not your words because it's just not going to sound like you. I type exactly how I talk. Like when I'm typing, I'm literally like saying it out loud and just like doing it exactly the way. So if someone were to go and take my post, it's probably not going to sound like you, because unless you talk exactly like me or think the exact same way, then it's just not going to be authentic. So take the information, take the idea, and then create it yourself. Okay. This is always the tricky part. Okay. And I assume you guys can see this, right? I can't see anyone, so I'm assuming someone's nodding at me. Okay, so here I'll just show you guys one of mine. I did this on the weekend with Super Saturday, so it was just a very quick post that I actually just like created on a whim. Usually I sort of pre-plan some of my posts because it causes me a lot of stress if I don't have posts ready to just grab and put up. But I just did this one quickly when we got to the hotel. So it says, does anyone else have that one kid who, dare I say it, sometimes gets the shaft? I will be honest, in our family, it is often this little girl right here, baby number 3. It's never intentional, and maybe it is because she is easygoing and usually doesn't put up much of a fuss. So I decided to take Alice on a weekend adventure with me. These are the things I envisioned doing when I started this online adventure 3 years ago, surprising and spoiling my kids with little mini vacations. So this is so weird that I can't see anyone. I might just do this. Okay, so I did a couple things here, and I really try to do this with a lot of my jabs, because if you are jabbing about the coaching opportunity, it's pretty normal to get sort of low engagement. Like, people see what you're doing, and for whatever reason, people are so hesitant to like these kinds of things or comment on these types of things. I mean, we all see it with our coaching CTAs, right? Like, yes, we're all signing coaches, but usually it's done very privately, and not many people are just like commenting on our stuff. So don't get discouraged if you get a lack of engagement on these types of posts. They're still working. The same amount of people are still seeing them. So just know and just trust that process. But I try to put something into it that's going to make them want to like it and comment on it. So I knew by involving my daughter and asking that first question at the beginning, it was going to create some engagement. So the more people that start to comment and like that post, the more reach it's going to get. So I wanted it to get more and more reach. I didn't want it to just be sort of this dead post on my like page that nobody saw. So I tried to be a little strategic, threw in the whole, like, does anybody else have one of their kids that just always seems to be neglected? Because I'm sure that's a common thing, not just with myself, but with other moms of multiple kids. So I threw that in there. And of course, throwing her in the picture never, it always does some good too. And then because I put this last little part, I could have just left it as that, just talking about, baby number 3 never got any attention, blah, blah, blah. But that wouldn't have been a jab, right? That was like, so hopefully you guys can see this. Like, this part right here, if I had just put that and left it at that and says, like, does anybody else, have that going on in their household? That's not a jab. That has nothing to do with what I'm doing or what I'm offering. It's just me sharing my life. But because I added in this, I decided to take her on an overnight adventure with me. And I brought in, because of this opportunity, I'm able to do this. Like, these are the things I imagined doing when I started this business. And this is not made up. Like, this is legit. Like, I was over the moon to be able to do this because of this business, to take, one of my children away with me for the weekend. So this was like real. And, people responded to it, and, mostly because of that first part, but it still got attention and it got eyes on it. So be strategic with these posts. Another one I'm going to pull up is my coach, Courtney. So, again, just a simple picture, but it catches your attention. It's nice sunlight. So it says, I sit here. Here I am waiting to pick my son up from preschool, thinking about how much differently I see things now than I did even just 3 months ago while I was still on mat leave. So Courtney is a new coach. She's in her 2nd month, I believe. I was always so rushed in the mornings because I didn't wake up until the kids did. Then I had to fit in breakfast for the kids, getting them dressed and ready, and then somehow make myself look presentable too. It's moments like these that I realize how much this new lifestyle has changed my life for the better. Today I woke up to do my workout and got ready before the kids woke up. So when the kids woke up, 1, I had already accomplished my workout, and 2, I was already ready for the day. My morning was so much more relaxed, and I actually got a chance to enjoy my breakfast with my kids. When I dropped my son off at preschool, I was early. Anyone who knows me, that doesn't happen often. While I was waiting for the preschool doors to open is when I realized how much better my morning was and how much better I was feeling than even just 3 months ago. This new lifestyle has changed my life in so many ways. I used to look at the moms at preschool and think, how the F did they look so good so early in the morning? I would always just throw my hair up and run out the door with no makeup, feeling embarrassed about what I looked like compared to other moms. Now I am one of those moms. It made me feel so good today. Moments like these are how I know I am on the right path. So this is like a total coaching job, right? Like she is speaking to her market. She is talking to her people and sharing how much things have changed in just like 2 months time of her becoming a coach. So anyone reading this is really going to like just start to think like, well, what are the changes she's made? Like, I want to feel better too. I want to be one of those moms that maybe looks like they've got like half their shit together. And so it's just intriguing. It's drawing people in, right? So then maybe in a couple days when she goes and does her hook, people are going to be more apt to take that into consideration or reach out to her. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense there. And then this is Jennifer. So here is another jab. So who surrounds you? Did you know that you become like the people around you? Quick, take a look around. Do you like what you see? Or do you need a change? There was a time when I was deeply unhappy, and some of it had to do with my surroundings. I was in a pit of yuck, sinking, sinking, sinking. Can you relate? Now I am thankful to have strong, supportive, confident women to talk to every day. Last night we were all on a call together and I felt inspired by their goals. It makes me believe I can reach mine too. So this is perfect. It is creating curiosity. She is sharing a little bit about how she used to feel. She is working in the business, and anybody who is sitting there reading, feeling like they are sinking in life, are going to read this and think of Jennifer and think of, okay, she got out of that. This opportunity, whatever it is she's doing, she has gotten out of that. And look at all the women on her computer screen that she is chatting with. So somebody who doesn't have a supportive system is going to look at this and be really interested and intrigued. And that's what you want. Okay, I think this is my last one. And Elaine. So days like today, I'm grateful to be able to work from home. We were up all night with this sick babe. I couldn't imagine the stress and anxiety that would have caused me to have to leave her with a family member or sitter to go to work, or end up calling your boss to say you can't come in. Today, this is what it looks like. Virtual business meeting. She's content on my lap. And yes, I'm in my jammies and slippers. So this is perfect. She is showing how we do this with our kids, how we are working from the comfort of our home in our jammies. We don't have to answer to a boss. We can make our own hours, do our own thing, and just the ability to be able to be at home with our sick kids. That's what moms want, right? So she is speaking to her people, working in the business. It's a perfect job. I think I had one more. Okay, so Camille, if you started working on your own health and fitness, do you think your husband would easily follow suit? Or would it be like pulling teeth? Well, tonight we are kicking off our 4th year wedding anniversary a day early with a little late night workout at home. Because when your hubby starts to pick up on all the fun you're having and the results, he wants in too. And trust me, he was not on board at first, but after a few months of watching me take action on my health, he slowly started making changes too. And now it's something we both enjoy together, even if his face in this picture says otherwise. So, like, again, a perfect job. It's so subtle, but the difference between just a post and a jab would be Camille just posting the same picture and just saying, like, we're kicking off our 4th year wedding anniversary with a workout. Love being able to work out with my husband. Like, that would just be such a simple, easy post to throw up, but it's not necessarily a jab. You've got to just go a little bit deeper, go one step further, like she's done in here, and just talked about those little nuggets in there that gets people interested, that gets people to ask questions, that gets people to want to see more. Like, if I were to read that, I would want to know, like, well, what results, what fun, like, what's happening here? And I might go and click on her page to go check it out. Like, what's going on? They look like so cute and lovable. Like, you want to know more when you see all of those posts that I just put up here. You want to know more. And that's what you want people to do. You don't want them to just scroll on by. You want them to ask more questions and go view your page in a little bit more detail. Okay. Can you guys, are we back? We're back to normal? Okay. All right, so questions. I see the chat box. I think Amy answered that one. So we should be jabbing every day. Absolutely. Absolutely. I jab several times a day. Like, I think all my posts today were jabs. So there's really not a day goes by that I don't jab, because otherwise I don't want anybody to just be like, well, so what? Like, what is she just posting? Like, you need to be posting with that intention. Otherwise, you're just someone posting on social media. You have to be a little bit different. You have to go a little bit deeper. Just take it one step further than all the other 400,000 Beachbody coaches out there that are trying to do the exact same thing. You have to take it a step further. Most people are not willing to take it that step further and make it into a jab. They're just either going to be super salesy and do all the hooks, or they're just going to be like, I'm working out, drinking Shakeology, reading personal development. Like, those are not jabs. Those are just annoying. Okay. What do you jab about if you've had no success? Well, Christina, you must have had some success or you would not be here, right? What has this business done for you? I don't know where you are right now. Are you muted? Christina, are you able to unmute yourself? Or not?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, so what do you mean you've had no success?
Well, I guess I don't really mean like none, but like I don't have successful coaches under me. I'm still have a lot of weight to lose. Like sometimes I find it our struggle, right? Because a lot of the jabs I see or like look up on YouTube or whatnot, like they just don't relate to me at all.
Okay, so don't worry about trying to figure out what other people are jabbing about. Like, you should sit down and make a list of why you are here. Like, why did you join this group? What has coaching done for you? Like, how long have you been a coach? And start to just brain dump everything about this business that you absolutely love. What is it that you love? It doesn't have to do anything with income. Like, I haven't jabbed about income. I don't think I've done it at all, like, in a week, like, let's just say. Like, so it's not that I'm jabbing about income or jabbing about, not having to work as often at the hospital. I'm just constantly jabbing about how this has made me feel. Like, how does coaching make you feel?
Okay.
Yeah, like, don't make it all about these big successes, because every single person here has something you can jab about. Otherwise, you would have quit. Like, you wouldn't be here. You obviously love it. So what is it you love about it?
Okay.
What has this done for you so far? What changes have you made? How are you different now than the day you signed up as a coach? What has changed in your life? The way you feel, the way you think, your relationships, maybe, something has strengthened in your life, whether it's like a friendship or a relationship with your spouse or a parent, or maybe you've been able to get rid of some negativity in your life and you've been able to cut ties with people because now you see how positive life should be and how good things should be in your world because of being surrounded in this community. So don't worry about what other people are jabbing about. You need to figure out your jabs, because otherwise they're not going to be authentic.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, Megan.
Hey.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I post a lot of like my progress and how I work out every day. And should I not be doing that every single day, or I put pictures of my food? So how can I incorporate that into jabs, I guess?
Well, so what are you posting about when you're posting about your workout? Like, what would an example be?
I will post a picture of like 80-day obsession, what day I'm on, how I'm feeling, what has changed in my body, and basically that's it. But I do it every single day, so I'm wondering if that is annoying.
Well, no, because I mean, I do it every day too. I think
Okay.
I think that what gets annoying is like just the constant like, oh, day 71 done, like day 72 did it. Like you have to bring some more oomph into there. So like this morning for my morning workout, like I talked about how, I just really I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it at all, but I did it because like we're in the last week, and why on earth would I just throw in the towel now? So those are jabs. Those are jabs about, even bringing the accountability because, you want to give up some days, but because this is your team. And sometimes I'll even say like, today I legit did my workout because my business depends on it. Like it's part of my business. It's part of one of my vital behaviors is doing my workout. And that was literally what got my butt out of bed to do my workout. But that's a jab. It's a jab to what we do. So I mean, as long as you're not saying you like, don't say to yourself after you posted, like, so what? If anybody were to read it and be like, so what? Have some value in there, like pull out some value.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. You said you sometimes will craft your posts ahead of time. How do you keep them organized?
So this is super simple and ghetto kind of. I have a group on Facebook, and I started this like right away when I was a coach, and I'm the only member of it, and it's just a private group. And so I have files in there where I have like all my scripts and documents, and it's literally kind of like a journal for me. So I can just quickly, like if something comes to my mind, like if I was on this team call and a post came to my mind, I would just go into my little secret group and quickly jot down a few keywords. So I literally just have this like feed of post inspiration and ideas, or like it's just full. So even if I'm like really struggling sometimes in the morning for an idea, I can just go into this little private group and just like scroll until I see something. I'm like, that's what I need to post about this morning. That's speaking to me. So it's just like a little like collection of ideas, and I mean, I recommend it. I think it's really valuable to have it. I talk to my coaches a lot about that, and just having like a little hub of your own ideas and files and documents. And it's where I keep like, information that I can send to my challengers, and just random stuff, right? Just have it all just hidden.
Cool, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay. Oh yeah, Shelby says she uses the notepad. So yeah, same thing.
Question.
Yep.
Oh wow, there you are. Okay. So if we're doing jabs every day, I noticed that some of your questions, they're not related to asking people to join your group or do anything like that. So your jabs should still contain questions so that if someone were to comment, they actually have an opportunity to comment. So then do you consider your hook, is that like a straight up invite to your group or whatever you might be doing, coaching?
Yeah. A hook is like a straight up call to action. And I mean, it can be sort of like a subtle call to action sometimes, like, if you're shouting out a challenger or someone, their awesome transformation, even putting at the end, like, do you think that you could benefit from seeing results like this or something. Like, so that's kind of a soft hook. But then you can do those straight up CTAs that, you know, we all have been posting about this weekend, that you guys all posted last night, I think. Those straight up just hard hooks. And it's essentially a CTA. So those jabs are not asking anybody to do anything. Like, they're not asking anybody to join your team or join a challenge group. But I always try to throw questions into all my posts, because if you don't ask a question, how are you going to get people to comment on your posts, right? You want people to comment. You want the more people that are commenting on your posts, the more it's just going to keep getting shown, and you want that engagement, right? So the more comments, the more people are going to see it. So try and be strategic with what kind of a question are you asking, or if you're doing a post, or ask yourself, okay, so am I giving people a reason to like this? Am I giving people a reason to comment on this? Or is it just sort of like a dead post that is just there and no one's really going to care, no one's going to like it or comment? So give them a reason to comment. All right. Anybody else? Nope. Okay, I'm just checking the chat box, but Google Streak. Yeah, for contacts. Yeah, like tracking. I think this is what you're asking about, Farron. There's so many different tracking apps, like Google Streak, TeamZ, pen and paper. I did pen and paper for like over 2 years, and that works just as long as you've got a system. So whatever you're going to use, just make sure it's a system and that you're staying on top of all of it. So, okay, well, hopefully that was helpful. And yeah, just make sure you guys are staying like plugged into the group, and just, you know, just really going out of your comfort zones and just keep pushing, and let's see how many new people we can add to our teams, and you know, keep rank advancing and doing what you guys are doing. Okay, good night, guys.